Hey guys, okay, so I had a video request on how to change O-rings, how to lube the gun, everything else on the Dangerous Power G4. So, I'm just going to do a quick little video, okay, and say, out of the box, all of a sudden, you, for the first time, take your compressed air tank. Oops, okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. I'm trying to do this with that hand. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but let's leak all the fittings. Okay. So, I'm just going to show you how to go about that and a little trick that I do to fix it and what a lot of other people do. Okay, so I'll get back to that in a second. So, first, one thing that you're definitely going to want to buy with the gun to lube it and maintain it and everything else is probably hater sauce, okay, and Tech T gun salve. That's the this is lube. You don't really have to have the gun salve. I just use this a lot more for my pump, but you know, you don't have to have it. I definitely recommend hater sauce for this gun. It helps a lot on the bolt stick. I've never really had bolt stick issues with this gun before. Just once I've had that. And out of the box, you get a little O-ring kit. There's my O-rings. It comes with this little sizing chart and everything, and get Allen wrenches. Okay, so I'm just going to show you something. I'm just going to take the manual. I'm going to show you where the O-rings are at in the manual, just to give you a better little picture. Okay, I'm going to try to find the page. Okay, so this shows you just the bolt design and everything else. And then this is what I was looking for. There's the regulator, and boom. Okay, so this shows you like a cut off version of the body. So they just took this and cut it in half, and I don't know if you can see these little, this is the inside of the body. You can't really see that, but basically what that is here's the feed neck. There's an O-ring there, there's an O-ring there, and there's an O-ring right here. Because it's not on the bolt, it's an O-ring design. It's an O-ringless design. So basically there's an O-ring right around in here, another one right in here, and another one right in here. Okay, but usually you don't really have to replace those that often. I probably had to replace those and maybe 20-30 cases or so. I don't have a big issue with them. Okay, so there's one. So you really don't have to worry about the inside O-rings as much. Okay, but sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You know, if you don't lube your gun as often, then those O-rings wear down with all the dirt and decay. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to replace them, but the less that you lube your gun, probably the more often that you're gonna have to replace those. Okay, so back to this fitting thing. Usually you have fitting problems right out the box and everything else. So what I do, and what a lot of other people do, is I'm just going to have to set this camera down. Think of this fitting right here as a Chinese finger trap. When you pull it, it doesn't really work. But when you push and you pull out, okay, see this little, you have to push it back and then pull the fitting out. I'm going to have to set the camera down because I don't have my cameraman right now. So you're going to have to push and pull out. Pull that fitting out. There we go. Almost got it. Got it. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like. So I was leaking out here the back fitting. Now it's definitely an O-ring problem in there. But I don't have an O-ring to fit in there. It's either I need a new O-ring or I just need a whole new fitting. So what I do is, just so I don't have to replace it, let me get the paper towel. Okay, so on the end here, you're just going to want to wipe that crap off. Boom, and you're gonna take a little bit of your lube. Oh, it wasn't degassed all the way. You're going to want to take a little bit of your lube. You can use hater sauce, whatever you want. I'm just going to take a little bit of my lube, put it right there, put it around this right here, and just lube it up just a little bit. Okay, you don't want to use too much. Okay, I only use not even a fingerful. I'm just going to wipe the rest of it off. Okay, so you just basically get a nice little itty bitty coat on there on the end of it. you're gonna have to shove it back in there. So once again, I'm sorry, I don't have a cameraman with me today, so I'm just gonna shove that back in there and try to get it all. There we go. Get it in there all the way. Wipe all the lube off wipe all the lube off of this. So basically, you want to have this inside lubed. Okay. So next thing, how to maintenance your gun. Okay, so I do, for my rule of thumb, I do it after every day of play or every case. Okay, that's how I do it. So usually I blow through a case a day, but I usually do it. I would say lube your gun after every time you're done. Okay, so to lube your gun, I wouldn't go into the regulator all the time. It's not really necessary unless if you're having problems. I would go in there once every year. Okay, like right when the season's over, right when you're done playing. Okay, the last day that you play, then maybe I'd take that out, re-lube it, get all the dirt and crap out of it. There shouldn't be any dirt in it in the first place, but I'd take it out, you know, lube everything in. Okay, shove it back in there, and boom, you should be good. Okay, so I'm going to unscrew the tank real quick because it would make this a lot easier. Remember, use only high pressure air. Okay, don't use anything other than high pressure air. Don't use CO2. I mean, you can use nitrogen. It's like the same thing. Okay, so what you're going to have now is back here. Here's the back bolt. Okay, so how to maintenance this is you're going to want to take your biggest Allen key that it comes with. I'm pretty sure it's the biggest. Let me see. Is that too big? Nope. Okay, so the biggest Allen key. Let me see if I can do this with my feet. There we go. Okay, so you're just going to want to loosen this up. Oh, hold on. Be a lot easier if I put this camera down. I'm sorry. I don't have my cameraman. There we go. Okay, so this is your back cap. Okay, this, if you are leaking down the barrel, this is probably where you're going to be leaking from. Okay, so this, right here on the end, I don't know if you can see this little black thing, that is usually the O-ring that you're going to have to replace. It's the smallest O-ring that comes in your O-ring kit. So it's usually this it's usually this O-ring right here. Now I'm not going to replace it because I don't really have to, but to replace it, either you can get like a pick, like a dental pick, or what I like to do is I like to squeeze the sides of it and it starts to bulge out at a little area. You can just yank it off. Let me see, do I have to lube this? I haven't used it. Okay, and out comes the bolt. So you just put your finger down the feed neck, okay, and boom, should out come the bolt. This is the bolt, obviously no O-rings on it, so if you're leaking down the barrel, you're not going to have to do much on that. Okay, so if you're really leaking down the barrel, you're just going to want to take off that O-ring, okay, and there's another O-ring back here. This black thing, this is not this right here. There's one right here and there's one right here. Usually if I'm leaking down the barrel, I replace this one first. If it's not leaking, if it doesn't stop the leaking, then I'll replace this one. If it's still leaking, then I go to this one. Usually it's not this one. When you're leaking out here, like right out here, and it's coming out from, you know, right here, then usually it's these two. Okay, especially this back one. Usually it's these two. Okay, because air is escaping from in here, so that means an O-ring is nicked, or maybe it was a little bit bigger, and when you're threading it in, a thread cut it. Okay, something like that. So this O-ring and this O-ring, if you're leaking right back from out here. Okay, if you're leaking down the barrel, I would check this O-ring first. Okay, and if that doesn't work, then yes, then I would replace this one and then that one. And if you're still leaking down the barrel, then you're gonna have to go in, and there's, I don't know, you won't be able to see it that well, but right here is an O-ring. That little black spot, see I have my green lube? I mean, you can almost see it. I need something to point at it. Let me get a small Allen key. Okay, So there's an O-ring right here. This O-ring is right here. Okay, this little black thing right in here, that is an O-ring right in here. So if you're leaking down the barrel, then I would replace this one first. If you replace all of these and you're still leaking down the barrel, then I would replace this one first. Okay, and then if you're still leaking down the barrel, there's one still, you can see the inside is silver, and then there's like a little black ring. Okay, then I'd replace that one next, and then so on. So usually that's just gonna fix the problem. Okay, and if not, then you probably, you're either really over lubing your gun, or it's user error. And so to re-lube your gun, basically you're just gonna take out the bolt and everything. It's really not that hard. Don't be scared to re-lube it. So you're just gonna wanna take out the bolt like how I did. You're gonna want to take your lube, open it up, put a little dab on your finger, and you're gonna want to spread it on this O-ring. Okay, so I usually sit mine up. I just spread it around on this O-ring. I take another little dab, I spread it on these O-rings and this little part right here on the back cap. And then I take another little dab. I do this bolt, and then I take one other little dab on my finger. Not a lot. You don't want to be using a lot. Actually, I'm not even using that much because it's really cold outside. You want to underlube when it's really super cold. I'm pretty sure, at least. And so I take another little dab, and I just spread it around on the inside. And then you take this. You put your bolt back in there. Yeah, so. Then you take your back cap. Put your back cap on there, and I like to finger tighten it at first. It goes a lot faster. And I forgot to tell you, you're gonna want to wipe it down too. So you want to have that silver shine in there. You want to wipe this whole entire thing down. Okay, so you're gonna want to wipe it down. You want absolutely no lube left. Okay, and then you re-lube it. You don't want to like re-lube over all the shitty lube and everything on there that you already have. You don't want to do that, because that's not good. Okay. So I finger tighten it all the way. So all I'm gonna do now is just snug it up. You don't want to over tighten it, because it won't leak, but you just want to get a little snug. And that's about it. You don't want to go really tight. And that's about it. Okay, so now next to programming. So to program, you're going to want to hold your trigger down, and you're going to want to hold your power button. And then you're going to let go of both, and see, now it's red. Okay, I don't know how that's turning out, but that is red. Red means that is your rate of fire. Okay, so if you want to change it, you're going to click it once, and you're going to click it twice. So say you want to go 12 balls a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you're going to click it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it will basically play back. So it'll flash back how many times that you pulled the trigger. As many times as you pulled the trigger is how fast that is going to be shooting. Okay, so if you want to go 35 balls a second, which is crazy, or uncapped, then you have to hold it down, and it'll flash like that, and it won't be doing anything. You're going to want to pull the trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And I'm not going to count that back. Okay, so that's 35 balls a second. Next thing is green. Green is your firing mode. So 1 is semi. I'm pretty sure I'm semi. 1, yep. Okay, so 1 is semi-automatic, and I'm going to do 2. I'm pretty sure 2 is ramping. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I'm pretty sure that is going to be 35 balls a second 3-shot. Let's see. Let's turn the eyes off. And to turn the eyes off, Right now, eyes is on. See, you can't hear the solenoid clack. And then if you hit the button one more time, it'll blink a little bit faster like that. Hear that? That's 3-shot. I'm just gonna turn it off, and just so you guys can hear it a little bit better, I'll bring the the rate of fire down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll just do 10 balls a second. So this is just 10 balls a second, 3-shot. So that's like your speedball play right there. Okay. So next thing, we're going to program it again. So we're at 10 balls a second. You're going to want to go to green. Click the button, 1, 2, so it'll tell you what mode you're on. So 2 is 3-shot. Okay, so if you want to go to full auto, you're going to click it again. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure 3 is full auto, if I remember right. Then you're just going to want to turn it off. Turn it back on. And you're going to... Oh, shit, I didn't do it right. What was it on? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. What I did wrong is I turned it off, and to put the number in, basically, you have to press the button again. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's what you want to do. So you don't want to turn it off right away. So we'll see if this is full auto. Turn eyes off. Yep, that's full auto. Okay. So that's how you do semi, ramping, and full auto. Oops, turned it on by accident. Forgot to hold down the trigger. Hold down the trigger. You're back in programming mode. Go back to green. And 4 will be Millennium. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit the button. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it off. Turn it back on without going into program mode. If you guys can hear that, Millennium, it ramps up. Okay, so you have to get to a certain hear that now? It ramps up. So basically, it's not like 3-shot. Okay, so you can sit there and do 1-shot all day, and you can be 1-shotting people without having to use all that, do the 3-shot and waste all that paint. Then when you want to ramp up, you just walk the trigger a little bit, and then you can hear it ramp up. Basically, but I don't use Millennium. I've played a semi-auto field only, so I'm gonna set mine back to uncapped semi. So to go to uncapped, I'm going back to the rate of fire. Hit the button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. That's just 35 balls a second. So that's basically uncapped. And then I want to put it back on semi. And remember, semi is 1. So I'm gonna hit. So that's blinking 4. So that means I'm on Millennium. I don't want to be on Millennium. So I'm just gonna hit it. 1. Hit it again, and it'll play back 1. That's what you want. Just to test it, I'm gonna turn it off. Turn it back on. Eyes off. Okay, so that is, now it's on semi. Okay, so these next few things I wouldn't really worry about. Okay, so we've already did red, we did green, yellow is the ramping point. I wouldn't really worry about that. I don't even know what mine's on. Mine's on 1. Okay, I don't even know what factory default is. So flashing red, flashing green, and flashing yellow, I wouldn't really worry about that. I think yellow is trigger debounce. Let's pull out the manual and look. You have dwell, debounce, and everything else. But yeah, and this tells you about tournament lock. So on your board, I'm not going to take it apart, but on your board, if you open it up, you're going to have on, I'm going to show you a picture of the board. The board looks like that. this little blue thing right there looks like this. This is basically your tournament lock and everything. So this is when you turn on the gun. So if you're at a tournament, a lot of tournaments make you put your gun on tournament lock, so you can't change your modes. Okay, so you can't be doing, you know, 14 when it's 12.5 balls a second ramping. So you can't go and change it at 14. So that's just tournament lock. You'll get back into that if you do tournament ramp. Okay, rate of fire, ramp point. Okay, yeah, ramp point is yellow. Trigger debounce is red. Solenoid dwell is green, and ABS dwell is yellow flashing. So I wouldn't really worry about that stuff. I mean, the only thing that you would really have to change would be the trigger debounce if you're like a semi-auto guy, or I don't even know, to be honest. Mine's all factory default. So you shouldn't really have to change this stuff unless if you upgrade to a different bolt or you're having really bad bolt stick. So that's basically the only reason why you would have to change that stuff. I haven't really had a problem with mine. But yeah, so that's just a little way to maintenance your G4, how to help the fittings. Okay, and then you're going to want to air it up and make sure it's not leaking anymore. Those are the O-rings. Those are what O-rings look like. You're just going to want to take those out. To take those out, they're a pain. Okay, you're going to need a pick and everything else, but I don't have one with me. I usually have DJ do it for me. Thanks, DJ. You're the best. DJ's like the guy that's at my field. He's my boss because I work for the field now, but he's a pretty cool guy. He's good on guns. He usually fixes mine inside here because I have no idea how to get them out. So you just have to take a pick and get it out. It takes practice, but yeah, it's a big pain. So anyways, that's just a quick, you know, not so quick, but that's just how you should maintenance your gun. You should maintenance it after every day. Get all the dirt and crap out of there, wipe it all down, make sure that you got everything clean. Okay, and that's about it. Okay, so hope that helps. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any more questions, tell me. Yep, that's about it. Thanks.